and welcome to a Geek Remix podcast. This is a developer podcast with the creators of LUMINUX for mobile devices. I'm Stacy.
And I'm Mari.
I'm Eric.
And I'm Corey from Pledge Games.
What's Pledge Games? That's the company you guys started together?
Yeah, that's the partnership. That's me, Corey, and Joey. He's not in the call right now, but he's also part of that. I do the coding with Joey. Corey does graphical design, and all three of us are involved in the actual game development process.
Ah,
Great. So when did you guys get started in creating games?
That's kind of a hard question. All of us we've done game development on our own for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
I used to make RPG Maker games as a kid and some other stuff, or cut out paper games as far back.
Oh, I was like, you guys look really young. How long have you been in the field?
Okay, well, those are also old pictures, actually. So I'm 23, and that's a picture of me from, I think, high school. That you're looking at.
Oh, for
Gosh, come on.
for Skype things? Yeah,
I
those
need
are
to change those. So we're not that young, but we're not. I guess we're not old either. So when we started working together as a group, I guess it's kind of a cool story. There was at our university, Joey and I, there was a hackathon, which is like a coding competition we went to, and so we decided to make. Excuse me?
Nothing.
No.
Okay, yeah. So we went to the coding competition, and we made this run by Microsoft, and we made basically we made LUMINUX, but really jank, because we did it in one night. It was just one straight session of coding. Yeah,
I've heard about those. They seem pretty cool.
It was cool, and literally 30 minutes before a presentation, it was not working. It was the most ridiculous thing ever. So we made our jank version of LUMINUX, and back then it was called Project Tetra. It was only for Windows Phone because it was a Microsoft thing, and we won first place. It was completely nuts. And since I had so much fun doing it, and I hadn't done game development stuff in quite a while, that I was like, oh, I've got to get back into this. Let's make this game, but make it real instead of just this funny little thing for a contest.
Just something that kind of works.
Yeah. So Corey and I have been best friends for a long time. So we've been playing Dungeons and Dragons together for ages.
Nice.
Yeah. So he's got a graphical design degree, which is basically what was missing in the group between coders and what else we need. Technically, we'd also need music, but there's a lot of open source music that's pretty, I guess, friendly there.
Break it down. So you coded it, or you?
It was so Joey and I coded it, and
okay,
Corey
and so then he came up with the color scheme and stuff.
So, okay, well, hold on. I'll let Corey specifically say what he did there.
Okay, so they came up with the idea, and they showed me a little version of it, and then it's just pixels colored that you slide around the screen and whatnot. So we had a really long brainstorming session of what we're actually going to theme it as, and what art direction to take it in.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been through a lot of different changes. At one point, we were trying to pick the name for it, and that's the most ridiculous thing in the world, trying to find a name that's
shitty names for a while.
That's not used. Yeah, man, so many names.
Do you remember any of these shitty names?
Oh my god, tell us.
Yes.
Okay,
I think Slider, I think, was one of them. Or
no. I think Lumi Lappy is definitely my favorite bad name.
Oh, that sounds so.
That's a lie. That was not a name.
Wait, what?
That was not. We really wanted to use Lux, but
was it Lumilux? There's some oh boy, there's just a million bad names thrown out at once. There was definitely there's no being ashamed. Throw out your bad names.
Speaking of the name, though, we ended up being super pumped about the name because the idea was that we wanted it to sound like a normal word, which is luminous, which is a word that means bright.
Yeah.
But also to be related to lux, which is, I think it's the SI unit of light or something like that.
Yeah.
That's something I would never pick up on.
It's meant to be.
Well, yes, the luminous thing, yes, but the lux, I would not know.
You don't have to specifically notice for it to I don't know. I
No,
guess,
it's still good. I was making fun of myself, not the name.
For not knowing it, yeah.
Yeah, not you. Like, I was like, well, if that's smarter than me, I'm stupid. Thank you. One of the things I noticed when I was playing the game is, like, I played games like it, but I don't think I've ever played a game with the same anything like it. I don't know how to explain, like, just with the... You know how, like, you match it up with the 3 and then they explode, but the way in which you do that is different than ways
I think I know what you're trying to say, yeah.
Hold on. Before we go into this, because that's something I guess we're going to want to talk about a lot. It's really cool. I think the stream might not be on.
No, we're not streaming.
Audacity.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay, great.
Great, then everything's fine. Continue.
Yeah, so I think I know what you're trying to say. So, like, the idea of a match 3 has existed for, like, a millennia, you know?
Yeah.
Bejeweled came out, you know, there's something before that even, there's the same thing. But, you know, that has just been, like, remade over and over and over. And it got translated over to phone, which was totally cool, you know, that's something everybody wanted. But, like, it was made for the PC, you know, you click, and then the two things swap. And, like, on a mobile device, there's just, like, a lot more input that's way more intuitive. And I think that's partially, like, it's almost a combination between, like, an endless runner and a match 3.
I like that the blocks aren't stuck where they are. Like, you can use blocks to push other blocks out of the way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like, at first I didn't realize that you could do that. And then when I did, I was like, so many more possibilities. Like...
Oh, you should have seen this. For the longest time, we were doing it, and I was talking to Joey, and I'm like, oh my god, this huge combo and whatnot. And Eric's like, what are you talking about? You can only get 5. And then, sorry to shame you here for a minute, Eric. This is like really early.
No, it's
on,
true.
right?
It's true. I took me a long time to figure out just how. Like,
Eric goes, 5's like the biggest you can get. I'm like, nah, man, I get like 16 blocks in a row right here, and like the whole board blows up, and like.
If you have like a bunch of columns and like each column is missing one piece, and then you've got this like specially made row where the row is all of the colors that would like fill that board, and then you push it to the left, it all explodes at once, and you just blew up 16 at once. And since the scores, it's basically exponential. So every time you add another block, you're basically getting double the points. It starts to scale off a bit, but that is like the combo that Corey just described is worth more points than most people will get like in an entire game if all they do is 3, 4, then maybe 5.
Okay,
No. Not since the level up. The level up gives more now, but
so in the demo, I saw that there were like 3 modes, and then one of the modes was like, no, we're not gonna play that mode.
yeah. Our online thing needs to be updated really badly.
Okay.
The challenge mode, yeah. So originally we were gonna do standard puzzle and challenge mode. I think if you played puzzle mode, you'll know that it's basically just the same as the other one, except for that instead of the blocks spawning based on time, they end up moving based on the number of moves you actually do. For some people who like a more slow-paced game. So challenge mode is our idea to kind of like add in a lot of other weird and cool stuff. But we're not going to make challenge mode. Instead, we're going to be doing a bit like we're going to have like different levels. Each of them are going to have like different slight changes of rules.
Yeah,
cool.
And a really small narrative.
Like an example.
Oh, a narrative?
Yeah.
What would you do for a narrative?
A small narrative.
It's very small.
Don't put as much on that as Eric just said.
The shiny block empire encroaches onto our planet.
Cutscenes?
No, there's not going to be cutscenes. Hey, Corey, don't jump on me there. I said small.
We have full 3D character art and full 1080p renderings.
No. I want the characters to
gorgeous.
just be blocks.
Character?
I just want the characters to just be blocks. And it was like, we follow the lone blue block, trying to go out and protect his lady purple block. Like, blah, 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 blah. Like...
That actually would be really cute.
It'd be like Pac-Man, but with blocks.
The narrative, which is incredibly simple and not at all like forefront at all, is that you have to go to the different star systems to do the light fusion to make it so the star doesn't burn out.
Wait, you want the stars to burn out?
No, you're saving them from burning.
They're running out of energy, so you have to go there and fuse a bunch of the looms together so that they get enough energy to keep burning.
Forefront of innovation. That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Cool.
And an example of when you mentioned challenge mode earlier,
Yeah.
like the different types of gameplay. So now instead of having like the selections right now are action, puzzle mode, whatnot, there's actually going to be 6 different star systems. I think 6. Is that right?
I think it's 6. It might be 7, but
Okay. There's going to be 6 different star systems. So there'll just be the play button, and it'll go to level select, and you can like shift through the planets and the stars and like pick which one you want to play. And so there'll be like one of them will be the normal mode, right, which will be like the Lumi system, and then there'll be the puzzler system, and then some of the other ones will be like I'm not sure what the names were. We had names picked
called
out.
the Jig system. The puzzle
Yeah.
system.
Oh, the Jig system.
The puzzle system would be a horrible name, Corey.
Yeah. Bad names got thrown around again. Don't worry. And like one of them would be like nested blocks, and this one's like
oh, those are really cool.
Yeah, so you have your yellow block, and inside of it's a red block. So when the yellow block blows up, now that space becomes a red block. And so
Well, the cat. Awesome.
Yeah. So yeah.
Don't worry, that's a little mind-boggling
So,
right
like-
now.
so, like-
and until you get your hands on it, it's kind of hard to like think about.
I can see how much of the game is like simplicity is really the key, right? Like that's one of the main things we wanted to like make sure was really important in the game, was simplicity and ease of control. So these challenge mode and these extra star systems, like they admittedly add a bunch of complexity to the game. So stuff like the nested block is actually taking a step away from what might seem to be the core value of LUMINUX, which is just extreme simplicity.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, you don't end up moving to that stuff until you're already like accustomed to the standard mode, and at that point, I think you're ready for it.
So the board gets bigger.
No, the
board
board
never
stays the
gets
same
bigger.
in all the modes. Like another example of mode would be some of the blocks will spawn and they'll have a little lock symbol on them, and they'll begin fading to gray. And when they fade fully to gray, you can't slide them anymore, and they're stuck, and you can't blow them up. So
I'm like getting pissed off thinking about it.
in the normal mode, you can just do whatever you want. But there, like if you're setting up a big combo, if one of those gray blocks comes up, you're gonna have to go deal with it. You can't.
Honestly, one of the big inspirations for I think that style was for me personally was there's this game called Boson X that got made, and it's like if you guys have played Endless Runners before, those are all pretty normal, but it has like so the game is so like each level's got its own like high scores, which is what we want to do, so that you can like if you really like the game, like for example you said you really like the normal mode, right? So if you really like the normal mode but aren't interested in like the lock stuff that's going to make you mad, then there's no reason why you can't just play the normal mode forever and like compete on the high scores there, or feel happy about the points you're getting there. I don't know if you noticed at the end, like you got a ranking badge at the end, like you are a prismatic champion or a galactic emperor or a rising star or something like that. So you might be aiming to get like the best badge there. You won't have any big cause to go to the other star systems where stuff gets weird. But then since each star system has its own like set of high scores and badge for you to earn, you can kind of basically treat it as separate games that you have to unlock by playing the other ones. Yeah.
And not all of them are where it gets harder. Some of them are like lightning blocks will come up, and when they explode extra things are on the board. So that's more like a more chaotic kind of like in Bejeweled when you blow something up, like half the board blows up. You get kind of that experience from it.
That's cool. Brain. I'm trying to like visualize all the things you're saying to me in my head and applying it to the demo that I played, and it's just I'm getting like mad at you.
That actually gives me a little bit of a lead into something else.
There's
say what you're gonna say, Mary.
No, it's Stacy.
Stacy,
that's me.
Sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. I can't tell you guys apart either. But there's a game by Lavasoft. I forget what it's called, but like it's a mobile game, and it kind of reminds me of the game that you guys created with like the different rules for the blocks, and this like in this level it when you destroy a block it creates this outcome, that type of thing. But yours is cooler, so congratulations.
Awesome.
Well, thank you.
We're super pumped.
What do you guys have anything else in the works right now?
We actually have a couple things in the works.
Oh boy, tell us all about them.
We're pretty big multitaskers.
It's pretty bad, but thankfully it's not interfering with our. It's not actually interfering with our work because.
Yeah. Luckily, Luminux is on the front burner, and like
Yeah.
that's easy.
Yeah.
Okay, so tell them about Tribal. I posted a few pictures of it on my Twitter.
Okay, so Tribal is this we did Tribal get that up before Luminux? Or
Tribal
no?
was technically made before Luminux, but
Okay,
like,
so we're sitting down and we want to make a game. We want to make a board game. What do we want to make?
like,
Who
last
knows? Let's make a card game. Okay, we're gonna make a card game, and then that got changed a bunch, like a million times. We wanted to figure out like a game that we were gonna make a game for us that we liked, and then like if other people like it, that's cool.
just a really fun board game to play with 3 people, and
With
then
us, yeah.
we ended up needing to make it more than 3 people. But
We have a really tight group of 3 people, and to play games with, and like there's not a lot of games that are made just for 3 people, so we decided we're gonna make something just for us 3 to play. And
Nice.
we took a lot of board games that we were like, I don't know how big board game players you guys are, but like Pirates Cove and like Dungeon Lords and other games like that where everybody plays at once secretly and then you reveal your action, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or even like Robo Rally, that's a good one.
I don't know anything you're talking about. But
I
okay, yeah,
know, I
cool.
know. Okay.
Corey's dropping all these vague like hipster board games.
I
He's
just
You know,
Talking
Seriously.
about board games.
you know,
Okay.
Return of the
Okay.
Pirate. You know, basics.
So everybody plays their action face down, and then you flip it, and then everybody reveals at once. So you kind of get a paper scissors rock action going on, right? And
It's rock paper scissors. Thank you.
Oh,
Yeah.
rock,
It's
that right.
rock paper
it's
scissors.
Rochambeau.
It's because of Dokapon Kingdom. Just this other game, but
Eric,
Yeah,
is that
okay.
what this picture is on your Twitter with the
I
cards?
posted some Dokapon Kingdom fan art. No, you're talking about you're talking about the cards. Yes, the cards.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and
Thieves
so
Guild, Dragon Vault, etc.
yeah, it's a really simple game. There's 15 cards in the game, and that's it. And all of them are laid out on the table. Each player goes around picking 1 card for their hand until everybody has 5 in their hand. And then there's 3 rounds of everybody plays a card face down. You flip it up, you do what it says, and then person with the most gold at the end of the round gets a victory point. First person to 3 victory points wins. I'm probably talking fast, but
It's all good.
yeah.
So
yeah.
what
But-
is the release schedule for these 2 games?
Okay, so Luminux. What do we say, Corey? It's supposed to be like
Luminux is going to our publisher on April 30th. April. Yeah, on
And that's
April
gonna
30th.
what platforms is that going to be on?
Android and iOS.
Android, iOS,
I think
possibly some like
Phone.
Amazon Marketplace and other things. They'll be doing the distributing.
Yeah,
So in the end, some of that's up to them. I don't know how far they're going to go.
it's
distribute it.
definitely going to be on
stuff.
iOS and Android though.
Yeah.
For sure.
Like Tangent Games. That's like a thing that it might be on also. I think.
I think it's going to be a moneymaker.
Yeah.
That is extremely nice to hear.
It's a very addictive game.
because
No, I like, honestly, it looks like a moneymaker.
I want to be able to. Well, here's the thing. Like, that's really nice to hear too. Because honestly, like, we didn't make Luminux to be a moneymaker. We really just we wanted to make a really fun game, and that was the whole idea. That was all we were thinking about. And then what's really funny is near the end, somewhat recently, I think within a few months, like I suddenly was sitting down and goes, guys, how are we gonna make money? But
we were looking at our Kickstarter and we're like, oh my gosh, okay, we'll have to do this or that or this or that, and just like, no, Eric, that's not what we wanted to do, and like.
yeah, like it was a pretty big deal for us not to have a bunch of shitty in-app purchases or power-ups, like
Oh god.
all this other stuff, or like.
So is it going to be like a flat rate, like 99 cents?
Okay, so what we're gonna do
We
is
still have to talk to our publisher about that. We're not positive.
okay. So
If the publisher says $20, say no.
this
If they say $20,
is
then
the,
they know what they're talking about. They're gonna be rich.
I ended up going to TIG Source, which is like an indie game development forum, and I was asking them kind of like what I was asking them about monetization,
Yeah.
and so what I ended up getting through to them is we're kind of doing a demo system with like pay to unlock for full, but so energy systems are
What is pay to unlock? Like kind of like Guild Wars?
Means
kind of actually when you buy it and you have it forever, right? But Guild Wars is a bit different in that it's always updating and stuff. But Okay,
Think
so
like okay, so
Do
the
you just
old
mean like?
so imagine normal games that have an energy system is you can only play like 5 or 6 times within a given hour or something like that, right? And then it says, hey, you're gonna have to pay us some money to play some more. So it's like a slot machine or an arcade machine, and you put some money in
Yeah.
and you play, and then it asks you again, and you're like, oh man, I just gave you $1. Like, why are you not letting me just play and play and play? Um, so we wanted to be able to make it so that you could play the game for free, but like we wanted to be able to make money. We didn't want to have in-app purchases, so we needed some kind of demo format where you get to play the game for free, but you also have to pay us for like a full version.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's like light, LUMINUX light.
Okay, no, but like we actually didn't go with that. It was like, so that was the idea, and we ended up feeling like it didn't work out very well.
I got outvoted on that situation. Keep going.
Because we wanted you to be able to like, because if you played a bunch and you unlocked the next level and you were on light, and then the next level appeared and it was like, hey, now that you've unlocked the next level, you've got to pay us $1 to actually do it, even though you just unlocked it. But you feel stupid now, or something like that. So maybe we'll get some flack for this. And actually, like, I'd be super if anybody is listening and would say that this is something that would make them mad. Well, I certainly want to hear about it. But and like I said, like we still actually have to work it by the publisher. So this is not necessarily exactly what we're going to do.
Wait. So what is the way in which
Okay, so
we
it's an energy system.
Okay, Eric, hold on. I got this.
And it goes away forever. It's an energy system where you pay once and it goes away forever. So you can only
Okay, yeah. So
times an hour.
you pay the game for like easily what a small like play session would be. Like if you're sitting around waiting for friends or whatnot, like the energy system will never even come to play. You won't even notice it. But if you decide to sit down and play a couple hours of LUMINUX, it'll say, you know, hey, you really like our game, you should buy it, and then you won't have energy. So you have to either wait a little bit or, you know, buy the game if you want to play for hours at a time.
I'm gonna bring something up to you and let you know that that's a lot like what Dungeon Keeper Pro did. Just letting you know.
Dungeon Keeper's a little different.
Not at all like that.
Yeah, it is a little bit. I much prefer the light version and the full version. But the idea here is to say, here's our game. You can play it for up to 30 minutes at a time, with a 30-minute break in between, or you can purchase it if you really like the game.
Oh, it's a one-time purchase?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
It's not-
I was like, you guys are...
Shit. Energy
yeah.
shit,
But
but like
that's exactly what we're against.
because but the reason they're crap is because if I pay money to the game, I should own it. And that's
Yeah.
what we want. Like that's what we want. So really the energy system is more of like a demo system than
Yeah, and there won't be any, you know,
Oh,
weird
I
72-hour paywall. Like, oh my god.
yeah, no.
for a second, I was like, you guys...
Yeah. Oh, and I would expect you guys to call us out on that.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's your honest
I
opinion
follow.
on what's your honest opinion on that as an energy as a monetization system? Considering that it's pay to go away forever.
If you can pay once and it goes away forever, that's how it should be.
Okay, cool.
I
That's what
think-
do.
Because I feel like that differentiates it from an in-app purchase. And it also makes it so, like, I am a huge fan of games that you can play before you ever have to pay for them.
Mhm.
Like, any type of demo system. Especially for games like mobile games, because there's a high likelihood that, you know, you haven't talked to a bunch of people that have played them before.
Yeah.
Yep.
They're not usually as viral as like a PC game.
Exactly.
I completely
Exactly.
agree with Stacy, but you need to make it very clear that it is a one-time purchase and that what they're doing is like very clear what you're doing, because you know that gamers can have a very gut-wrench reaction.
Because people might lump us in with the other energy systems.
Yeah.
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 Like they're gonna automatically assume that this is bad, and then they're not gonna, like, as soon as it shows up, be like, hey, like, very explain that, like,
Well,
very well.
The first time it shows up, we're going to immediately refill. You're going to run out of energy, and the first time it shows up, it's going to immediately give you a full, like, it's going to immediately refill it all back up and say, like, oh, hey, by the way, like, here's your free back, like, you know, you don't have to, the first time this happens, it's on the house, but, like, the next time this happens, like, pay us once and this will never happen again.
I'm a really big fan of this little game Mushroom Wars, and once you play online, and anytime you play a match, you put in 1 acorn, and if you win, you get acorn back. And then when you run out of acorns for the first time, though, it says, "Hey, you really like playing this game. This is your first day in the game. You can play all you want today, right?" Like, and so it gives you the full 24 hours, play as much as you want. Don't even worry about that. Just enjoy the game for a while. Which is something that I think
I'm interested to see what how you guys explain this in a way that doesn't scare people.
Oh, I've not.
I don't think it will scare people as long as they understand it.
Yeah, there has to be like a really concise way of explaining that.
That is the main thing, because I truly do think that this is a very ethical system of monetization.
I agree.
But
Uh-oh.
I think it's a good idea, though.
Wait. The call dropped. Go back like 30 seconds.
The call dropped.
Yeah, for me.
Oh
no.
Okay, I think I said that I truly believe that this is an ethical monetization system, which is something that's very important to us. It doesn't compromise the quality of the game. Just that we, like you said, have to make sure that people become aware. So
okay, and then
we have to think very hard about that.
And
we want the game to be free for everybody to try and play, but we'd also like to sell our game and make money so we can make a new game.
Yeah, because otherwise we're gonna have to, not be able to
not make a new game.
Well, I look forward to seeing what you guys come up with. That'll be nice.
Thank you.
I like the way that the pricing system goes, but just off of how I immediately stupidly assumed that it was something different than it was.
That's actually very telling, and I'm actually kind of glad that happened.
There's a pretty bad stigma on that right now. So
yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
We should we should totally do some more like testing on the internet with that, Corey. Like, I'd like to set up some. I'd like to see if we can post that on some. Maybe there's some subreddits we can ask that around and stuff.
Well, just ask games.
Well, and you could always like draft up like, here's the window that we should show, like here's the wording that we would use, and see like how people react to it.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Well, we can also look at the reactions in the comments of the video when this gets posted too.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. Like, I'm gonna be so pumped too. I'm gonna be so pumped to hear.
Get a little feedback on that,
Yeah.
And our publisher too is gonna, be able to.
Of course, he's got pretty much. He's pretty much like So. Anything that any monetization system that we want to use goes through a publisher. So
the more I think about that, the more I'm like, yeah, that really is a good idea with the cooldown and stuff.
Because we don't want to do like so Angry Birds has light and then full, and you have to play the first 5 levels or whatnot, and then you have to buy the rest of the levels. But
then it's done. Like, then you just feel like it's done, right? Like,
so
exactly.
You play your little demo and you go, that's neato, that's fun. But we don't want to.
But your game is more like Bejeweled, so it's forever.
Yeah, we also don't want to like restrict content either. So like, say you want to play the later levels, like, well, we want you to be able to see that. Like, we want you to play those levels. So like, it's time demo, pay to play as much as you want.
Stacy, do you have any questions about the? Because I know that this art style is like your steez.
It
like
totally is.
Oh, is it? Oh,
yes, that's the first thing I noticed when I opened it. Actually, I'm a huge fan of like bright fluorescent colors in games.
Cool.
Like anything that looks like glowing boxes of light, like that's exactly where I want to be.
Nailed it.
That's perfect.
Our target audience.
It's literally a game about glowing boxes of light.
we actually had some pretty funny ideas.
I'm actually just noticing now that you've got like lens flare all over your like your Twitter, not your Twitch. Like I'm looking at the offline picture right now. You've got lens flare like sticking on this stuff, and that.
Oh yeah, I put lens flare on all our shit. Like, as soon as I figured out how to use lens flare, the second I found lighting effects in GIMP, I was like, oh yeah, everything.
We're all over this.
Shine it up. But which one of you is the designer?
I am
Corey. Graphics designer.
Corey?
Yes.
Okay, so tell us in less than 3 minutes that.
What?
You know.
So, wait, what?
Just like, I don't know what questions to ask you, so you just tell us about it.
Oh, okay. So if you have nothing, if there's nothing to say,
No. I want to know about it, but I don't know what to ask because I don't know enough about
the
art
de-
design.
about the design.
Drop
Yeah.
it. Drop the cool stuff, Corey.
Drop the cool stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. So, cool stuff about the design or about about design?
How, like, why did you go in that direction?
Okay, cool.
Like,
So,
stuff like that.
Yeah, what was your inspiration for the music, the color themes, all that stuff?
Yeah.
yeah, oh gosh, I'm trying to think. Like, Geometry Wars was definitely like a big influence. Just all the like the glowy outlines, and Eric had even showed me some other little like space kind of game that had like glowy outlines and stuff on it.
God,
And,
I don't remember that. But
What are
I don't
glory
even remember that.
outlines?
Oh, okay. And those are really cool. And so, like, original art blocks didn't even have a center in them. And then the game's definitely like come a long way since it was first made.
Oh
And
man, it has. It used to look so bad.
yeah, and it's kind of funny because like at the point in time we were like, that looks pretty good. That doesn't look too bad. This looks pretty good. And then now it just
awesome.
like
Yeah.
I get blown away every time I look at it. I'm like, I can't believe that this belongs to me.
It rocks
This is
the
kind
world.
of this is absurd.
and so it was pretty cool. We were a little over ambitious at first. We first things first, before we even had our iOS license and everything, and we were able to test on mobile devices, we were playing with a bunch of big no-nos. I was throwing particles on everything. Like, the game still uses like a decent amount of particles, but like we have our own shader so that it can actually run on the phone without like super slogging down. And glow effect, definitely not a thing that I'm supposed to do the way that I'm doing it right now. And there's a lot of technical things that I was a little worried about, but like I think I've fallen through really good to give the like polished look that it has right now. Definitely want to go with the so at one point we were wondering what to theme the game about, what to do, and we were like, oh, there's Candy Crush, they got candy going on,
Yeah.
Animal Rescue Safari, okay, they got animals, and we're sitting there trying to think like what we want to base our game on, and we're like,
Oh, Tiki Head or something.
yeah, tiki heads, we decided that we didn't want to like hide behind some like gimmicky kind of trying to like thing, like selling you candy,
Cat
no,
Smusher. I don't know.
we're selling you a super cool block sliding game. That's what we're doing. Like we wanted to definitely focus more on gameplay than on like trying to theme our game and then jam you with like microtransactions. So went with LUMINUX. Everything looked really cool, looked really sleek. I think simplicity has been one of the main designs.
That's the thing, though, right? Like everything's about simplicity since the
it's
start.
just
Like,
to
so
keep-
that's why the graphics are simple. Like technically, the graphics are simple. Like they're not. They're kind of not that simple because there's a lot of shininess going on. But like they're simple, right? But like it's also meant to be that the control is super simple. Like you power it up and you know what to do. You slide the block. You want to line up ones of the same color.
Yeah.
Like, they push each other around. Oh, cool.
We have our tutorial made. I sit on the demo version or anything right now, but the first time you play the game, it pops up with a little tutorial how to play, and it says slide block, and you do it, and it says slide block, and you do it, and you're like, oh well, I've learned how to play this game.
And now
Let's
you
go.
can play the game.
And that's that. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
actually, this game is a lot harder than you guys are letting on. Like, you think it's easy, but then 30 seconds in, everything's collapsing and everything.
Well,
Oh.
how's easy to learn, difficult to master?
Yeah.
That's the point. She's
That
got
is the
she's got
most,
the
like-
perfect idea on it right there.
Oh, boy.
I'm a genius. Thank you.
Yeah, like, every single person I've
Sorry.
seen her play, right, they sit down instantly and start playing. And the best part is when they see you playing, they're like, oh, that looks easy, I can totally do that. And they do it, and they go, whoa, that's way harder than I thought. Like,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The difficulty
There's-
ramps up so fast.
Yeah.
So fast.
But
that's
like,
that's one of the things we have had, like, I guess getting the difficulty balanced
The
is
thing is,
really
when-
hard. Based
honestly,
on
I
different
really like where it
players.
is now because when you get really good at the game, though, the game runs for like 5 or 6 minutes. And the thing is, I wouldn't want it to run much longer than that. Like once you start getting good at the game, because
It
then it's a
definitely
really long play.
it definitely plays way better on phone when you can actually use your finger to slide stuff around.
Yeah.
Um, on the computer, like, I mean, it's not that much harder because you can just click and slide it, but everything's just way more intuitive on phone because that's what it was originally made for.
There's a lot of
focused on
oh.
that. What were you gonna say?
Sorry, I wanted to actually bring in for a quick second that there's some cool like stuff in the game that's not immediately obvious, but I think ends up making a huge difference in gameplay. For example,
Ooh, like what?
blocks never spawn of the same color next to a like block of the same color. So like never will a combo just happen automatically because like the pool of colors that it can choose from is never one of the same of its neighbors, which is meant to make it so that you feel like you have more control of the board. Like you're not just playing and all of a sudden some stuff blew up and you don't know why it blew up. It just kind of caught you by surprise or anything like that.
Yeah, yeah.
And so I think that's not something that you will notice, but it's something that you will definitely feel while playing. Is that you always have this sense of control of going on. And the other thing that happens is when there are more blocks on the board, the spawn speed actually slows down. And it's really hard to notice this because very rarely will it just jump from having no blocks to all blocks, so you won't notice the speed difference. But what that gives is that once the board starts filling up, like you have a bit more, you have a lot more of a chance to kind of normalize at a half full board. Yeah.
But, yeah, because the board is more full, it makes moving the blocks around way harder to like get them where you want, and so it gives you a little bit more time. So it's a reasonable thing.
And that's also not something that you will consciously notice while playing the game, like except for
I never would have realized any of this.
But it's something that I can guarantee you like makes it feel very differently.
Eric, that's a really good point. Yeah, there's a lot of little things like that. Like when you mentioned that blocks don't explode on their own when stuff spawns in. Yeah. That's really important. We wanted to make sure the player has full control over what's happening on the board, because that's one of the things that I can't stand Bejeweled or Candy Crush, like for that reason, that I have to pick these two to swap.
Yeah, because all of a sudden things just like explode. It's like you move 2 things and then all of a sudden everything just slides around.
You're just sitting there for like 30 seconds watching like 8 things blow up all in a row, and you're like, how the hell did this just
not even that. My problem is that like, I want this to go over there and make that line over there. Okay, well, I'll just wait till the blocks spawn that way so I can do that. And like in Candy Crush, there's the games will spawn where the level's unwinnable. Like literally, it will take you more moves to win than the timer that allows you. The game is literally impossible. It just does not spawn blocks in the possible way, and then its algorithm is really cool. It'll like you have 1 turn left, you'll move your block to explode it, and it'll spawn blocks constantly from the top that all self-explode so that you would have made the goal, right?
Oh, we shouldn't spend too much time back.
Okay, yeah. I can rant about Candy Crush all day.
We're like, come on, man.
but we didn't want that that lack of control where the game's playing you. Like we wanted it really within your control.
All right, I think this is a good time to wrap up. It's about twice as long as I thought it was going to be. So
you can cut a lot of that.
Yeah.
No,
I think there's a good amount of repeating going on. So
I don't think so. I think a lot of people are going to like this. If you people, listeners, have any input about any of it, let them know, because you guys want to hear that, right? All of it?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Us hearing it directly affects our doing stuff in the game and making it, so your opinion's like direct effect right here.
Do you have any Twitters you guys have Twitters or emails or Facebooks to be yelled at on?
Okay,
we have all of those in the comments below, or not the comments, I guess the
description.
Okay, so
that area.
There's a Pelagic Games Facebook. It's Pelagic Games. It's the only Pelagic Games, and that's the Facebook.
I'll put a little thing on how to spell it.
Okay.
What's I'll Twitter handles?
So, the only Twitter handle is me, Eric. I'm at Eric Hermit. Like that's Hermit, like hermit crab. Eric, like the name Eric.
No, don't worry. I'll put it on the screen.
Okay, cool.
That's why I said comments or the description below.
I just wanted to make sure everyone okay, they got a Facebook, Twitter.
Okay, and it's okay for us to put those out there, so we will.
Okay.
So NDDB.
Okay, they don't need to do NDDB.
And there's a website where you can play the demo, and there's a trailer. There's all kinds of stuff. So you guys give them feedback on whatever you like or don't like about the game, because they want to make the best game for you.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Right. See ya. This is the Geek Remix Developer Podcast. I'm Mari.
And I'm Stacy.
And you guys are...
Corkusuric and...
Eric Hornby.
All right, bye.
Thank you.
Bye.